I don't have a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one because I am what? Sickening. You could never have a sugar daddy because you are not that kind of girl.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
Also, your girl is sick again, FML crying emoji. Alright, let's get back into the video, lol.
Basically, I'm going to be sitting down and talking about a story that I've been wanting to talk about for a really long time. I've been like, why has this not been posted by me yet? Why have I not talked about this? So today I decided, you know what, bitch?
It's time to sit down and spill the fucking tea, bitch, because they're ready for it.
Everything that happened today is honestly fucking nuts. Like, what happened to me a couple months ago, like, it was shocking. So basically what happened a couple months ago is, I'm just gonna give you the backstory of like basically the beginning, the middle, and then the end. I moved in here about last May, and I was only planning on staying here for 1 month. I had a plan, right? My plan was that I had saved up a bunch of money and I was gonna get my own place, I was gonna get my own car. I was only planning on staying with my current roommate for about a month. Pretty much all my money was like gone instantly. I had no money left. I had spent it all on rent and food. So a month before I move out, I'm like, okay, bitch, it's time to find a roommate. Because I was like, I'm gonna find a long-term roommate that I can stay with for like a year or so. So I went on this app that's basically for roommates, and I posted my picture on there, I posted my bio. I was like, bitch needs a fucking roommate right now, girl, because I do not want to be in the streets, okay, girl? A couple days later, after I had posted that, I got reached out from this roommate, finally. Because the other ones were like all sexual and like,
oh, I will, give you a free run if you give me a BJ every day. And I'm like, no, bitch, you can give me a BJ, but...
The tea is exceptionally good today.
he reached out to me. We're gonna call him Billy Joe Bob. I was talking to Billy Joe Bob for a couple of weeks before I decided that I was getting to know this person, right? I was trying to get to know him, see if he was different. Hopefully he wasn't like the creepy guys who were just trying to fuck me. And there was basically no signs that he was like creepy or he was trying to do something to me. So I was like, okay, maybe this will work out. Yeah, told me he had his own house. He was living on his own. So everything seemed to be going pretty good. Everything looked pretty okay and decent, at least besides the fact that he said he had all this money, and he basically said, I just need somebody to watch over for my house for me while I'm gone, because I'm never there. I'm always traveling. I'm always doing something. So I was kind of a little optimistic about that. That's the only thing that was kind of like, I guess, kind of sketchy, kind of weird. I was like, okay, bitch, this sounds way too good to be true. You're giving me almost basically nothing for the rent, like $200 for rent, which is like nothing. So I'm like, I don't know, this is kind of weird, but again, I'm a broke bitch. I only have a couple of weeks left till I gotta move out. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna see if this might work out, because he seemed pretty cool. He didn't give me any signs that really made him seem like he was only in there just for something he can get out of me. So we decide to meet up, but I make sure to meet him up in a public place, because bitch, I am not gonna end up on ABC News the next day. We finally decided to meet him at the mall, and everything seemed to be pretty cool. He seemed like he was really nice. When I first met him, he gave me a hug, and he seemed pretty cool. Mind you, he's an older gentleman too, so I was like, okay, I don't really care that much about age, guys. I'm not that judgmental, okay? We start discussing things, and the first thing that he says is, wow, you are so beautiful. And I'm like, okay, alright. I mean, he's just giving me a compliment, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's a compliment. We start discussing things. I kind of start off with saying, like, I kind of tell him where I'm from. I tell him, where I work at. Well, I don't actually tell him, like, where I'm actually working at, because I barely know this person. I might not even move in with him. But I tell him that I work at this corporation, but I don't tell him where it is. He starts asking, like, questions about, like, what I want to do with my future, and what if I want to go to college, or if I want to go travel the world. He starts like asking me questions like that, and I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm 21 years old. Of course I want to travel the world. I've never been out of the country. I've never traveled anywhere outside of the United States, so it's definitely on my bucket list. So we're just like, I'm just telling him, yeah, I want to be a makeup artist, or, you know, I kind of want to start YouTube, I kind of want to do these things with my life. And he's like, okay, cool. And then this is kind of where it starts heading downhill. He starts getting a little bit more comfortable with me. He starts getting a little bit more closer, and I'm just thinking like, oh, you know, he's just trying to be friendly and trying to not make me feel uncomfortable. Because I honestly, like, I did feel a little bit uncomfortable being there because I don't know this person that much. I just met him. You know, even though we had been talking for a couple weeks prior to this, the fact that he gave me a hug and called me beautiful, I was just starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, and he was asking me about money and stuff, and I was like, okay, bitch, like, what is going on? But it didn't click in my head that something was going on. He starts asking me questions like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? And what's the longest relationship you've been in? And oh, like, what type of guys do you like? Do you care more if they have money? You know, he's like asking me these type of questions, right? And I'm just like, oh my god, what did I get myself into? But again, I'm trying to be open-minded, it's kind of like an interview. We're sitting down. It's kind of what it felt like. I felt like I was in an interview. I'm basically trying to get to know him because I might be moving in with this person, so I'm trying to distract from the questions he's trying to get into. So he tells me that he works for this airlines company, and he's a pilot. He travels all over the world. He's always in different countries. He's always meeting different people, and he's never home, and he just needs somebody to watch over the place for him. So I'm like, okay, cool, nice. And he said he also worked for he had owned a couple businesses, and that he had saved up a lot of money, and that basically he lives on his own. He had told me that his wife had passed away about 20 years ago, and that he's just trying to enjoy his life while maintaining a couple businesses and also being a pilot. So he doesn't like being lonely, and I'm just like, okay, sure, nice. I mean, we all need somebody in our lives, right? Whether it's a friend, whether it's just somebody to talk to, whether it's a roommate. So I'm just like, okay, I'm getting this. This is kind of cool. I get it. I get lonely too. He starts talking about, like, he's not trying to imply it. Well, he is trying to imply it, but he's not actually saying it. But he's talking about his coworker and how he was telling him that he needs to stop. He just started getting into this conversation randomly. Like, we were talking about business and like what we want to do with our futures. Then he starts getting into this topic about his coworker and basically saying like he pays girls for sex. And he had told them like, no, dude, you shouldn't be doing that. You're better than that, or you need to stop paying girls for sex unless you're actually getting something out of it. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, how did we get into this? He started telling me about this girl he had as a roommate. And he said that she was a really, really beautiful, blonde, skinny legend woman that he had staying with her. And basically she was sound like bisexual or something like that. And she had a girlfriend who was staying with her. He started getting too much into details about what was going on, and he was basically like, oh, well, you know, they wanted all this money, and, you know, I would buy them these nice things, and we would go on trips, and I'd just take them to all these places. And he's basically just talking about like all this nice stuff he's done for these people, and that they lived with him for like a year or so. And then he basically said that they were more like friends with benefits, not really a relationship. But these two girls were dating, but he was just kind of there to supply for them. I don't know. It's just really creepy, right? Like, that's when I was like, oh my god, I think I know what this is. I was like, I think I know where he's going now. The fact that he had mentioned ladies and money and trips, I'm like, oh my god, Jesse, what the fuck did you get yourself into? He meets these women in other countries, and basically he's like their sugar daddy. He didn't actually say they're his sugar daddy, but he was saying, well, I buy them things, I pay their rent, I pay their bills. He does all this nice stuff for them, I guess. And he meets them up once, goes on to the next chick. pays their bills, goes on, meets another chick. He was also telling me that this one time that he had bought this girl a boob job and got her boobs. He proceeded to ask me if I wanted to get a boob job, and I'm like, first of all, bitch, that is none of your business, okay? That is between me, myself, and I. So then he finally gets the guts to ask me, would you want to go with me to the Bahamas? He was asking me, would you want to go with me next month? Because I got a Caribbean cruise and I need somebody to go with me. I only know a little bit about you, and I don't feel comfortable going with a random stranger to the other side of the fucking world after he's asking me these questions and telling me this shit. Like, how do I not know you could hire someone to murder me? I mean, you got the money for it, you could easily do it. So I told him, no, I can't right now. I need to stay here because I just got this job and I need to make my coin, okay, girl? So he's like, okay, well, if you change your mind, you know, it's still available. You're definitely more than welcome to come. And I'm just like, okay, bitch, no, I'm gonna. You guys are gonna be like, bitch, you should take that shit. Take that Caribbean cruise, girl. Take that coin. Get that boob job. Inside, I was like, he's like, basically saying, well, when are you gonna move in? He was already assuming that I had already made up my mind that I was gonna move in, but I was only seeing how he was before I make that decision. I don't know yet. I just need to figure my shit out first. And he was like, he's starting to get a little bit frustrated with me. He started becoming like a little, not aggressive, but he was starting to be like, well, whatever then, you don't gotta move in, and somebody else, I can find somebody else to move in. And I'm just like, he has the nerve to say to me, well, I could buy you if I wanted to.
That is not correct.
Bitch, first of all, there is no price tag on me aside from the one that is actually on my shorts. So I look at him and I'm like,
Is this bitch for real?
excuse me? That's my instant reaction. I'm like, huh? I ended off the conversation and we said our goodbyes and I never talked to him again. He did try to reach out to me and he kept asking if I was moving in, when I was moving, when I was coming, and he kept asking me like every single day, and I just told him, you know what, I'm not moving with you, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And he was like, well, whatever then, like, I'm not interested in you anyways, and I don't really care, whatever, bye. You know, he's just being like, just a dick. That's the end of the story, basically. That's all that really happened. I thought I was getting a roommate, but instead I guess I was getting a sugar daddy. But that was a crazy experience, guys. I have never been through something like that. Have you ever seen those TV shows where those people come in and then they meet these younger girls and then they get caught by like these investigators? And I felt like I was in a TV show.
Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. Please leave a comment of what you think. If you've ever been through this situation, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your crazy stories because I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I will see you guys in the next video.